Warm welcome to yet another discussion on GATE tutorials. Today we are checking GATE 2016 Electronics and Communication Set 3, and again we are focused on network theory. So coming to the first question, in the RLC circuit shown in the figure, the input voltage is given by Vi of t equal to 2 cos 200t plus 4 sin 500t. The output voltage V naught t is. So the input voltage is given and we have to calculate what will be the output voltage. Now we can split the input frequency omega equal to 200 and omega equal to 500 as, right? As the signal consists of two frequencies of 200 and 500, we can split input signal into two signals of 2 cos 200t and again 4 sin 500t. Now we can check what will be the value of this inductor and capacitor combination to omega equal to 200, right? So at omega equal to 200, j omega L, here L equal to 1 by 4, j omega L plus 1 by j omega C, or j omega L minus j by omega C. Here omega equal to 200, j 200, L equal to 1 by 4. Right, so j 200 by 4 minus j divided by again omega equal to 200, C equal to 100 microfarad. So 10 raised to minus 4, right? The first term corresponds to j 50 minus second term corresponds to j divided by or j into 10 raised to 4 by 200, right? 10 raised to 4 is 100. 1000, 10,000. 10,000 by 200 is 50. So this is 50, right? J 50. So the impedance becomes 0 at omega equal to 200 for this side. That means it is acting as a short circuit at this point for omega equal to 200, right? That means at omega equal to 200, we obtain output V naught t as 2 cos 200t, right? Complete signal will drop across this impedance, right? As this path is shorted, all the signal will fall across this combination of resistor, inductor and capacitor. Now we can check another combination at omega equal to 500, right? What will be the value of this combination at omega equal to 500? We can find it. Again, at omega equal to 500, the combination has j omega L, right, in parallel with minus j by omega C. So j omega is 500, L is 4 by 10, right, parallel with minus j by omega is again 500, C is 10 microfarad, so 5000 into 10 raised to minus 6. So this term simplifies to j 500 into 4 is 2000. 2000 by 10 is 200. So j 200 parallel with minus j into 10 raised to 3 by 5, right? Because 10 raised to minus 3 cancelled with 1000 here and going to numerator minus j into 10 raised to 3 by 5. But 10 raised to 3 is 1000. 1000 by 5 is 200. So this is actually minus j 200, right? Now we can calculate the impedance of this parallel combination j 200 into j 200 and with minus sign divided by R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So denominator side it is 0. J 200 minus j 200 equal to 0. So the impedance turns out to be minus j 200 the whole square by 0 equal to infinity. That means at omega equal to 500, this term is acting as an open circuit element, right? So at omega equal to 500, output voltage is 4 sin 500t. 4 sin 500t, as all the voltage will drop across highest impedance. Here it is open circuited, so complete signal will fall across these 2 points. So now combining the two values, that is at omega equal to 200 we obtained as 2 cos 200t, and at omega equal to 500 we obtained output as 4 sin 500t. So Vi of t equal to V naught t itself. So the answer is this term 2 cos 200t plus 4 sin 500t. Answer is B. Now, moving to the second question, it's a 2-mark question. Assume that the circuit in the figure has reached the steady state before time t equal to 0 when the 3 ohm resistor, right, when the 3 ohm resistor suddenly burns out, resulting in an open circuit. The current I of t in ampere at t equal to 0 plus is, current is given in this side, that is through 2 ohm. So in this circuit, actually a switching type of action happens at this 3 ohm, right? Before t equal to 0, 3 ohm resistor is there in the circuit and it attains steady state too. And at t equal to 0, suddenly the resistor becomes open circuited, right? So switching action happens at this 3 ohm. So we can draw the steady state circuit for t less than 0. So here steady state is attained. So the 1 ohm, right, 12 volt. So before t equal to 0, the circuit attains steady state and the figure looks like this. Check it. 3 farad capacitor open circuited, similarly 2 farad capacitor is open circuited, and the current flowing in this path enters this point and moves to this 2 ohm, right, and moves to this 3 ohm and complete the flow. So total current in the circuit is, that is the current flowing through this 1 ohm is I equal to 12 volt, voltage divided by total resistance 1 plus 2 plus 3, so 6. That is 2 ampere current is actually flowing in this circuit, 2 ampere current, right. Another point to note is the current flowing through this 2 ohm will not enter this 2 ohm as it is open circuited, right. So the complete current will flow. That means 2 ampere current completely flows through this 2 ohm next to this 3 ohm and complete the circuit, right. Next we can check what will be the initial voltage across this capacitor 3 farad. That means initial voltage across 3 farad equal to, as I mentioned earlier, that the current will not flow through this 2 ohm. The initial voltage across the capacitor is across this 2 volt, right, this 2 ohm, right. So the initial voltage across 3 farad is 12, that is total voltage, 12 into 2 divided by total resistance. Total resistance is 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. So that turns out to be 4 volt. 4 volt is the initial voltage that is occurring across this capacitor attaining steady state. Now we can check what will be the initial voltage across the other capacitor, that is 2 farad, right, for 2 farad. Again 12 into 2 farad is here, so 12 into 3. As there is no current flow through this 2 ohm, 12 into 3 divided by total resistance. So again that turns out to be 6 volt. Now we can draw the circuit at t equal to 0 plus. So I am drawing at t equal to 0 plus the circuit. So a 12 volt is there. There is a voltage here. Similarly another voltage is also at here. Now complete the circuit. We can put the values. This is 2 ohm, this is 2 ohm, this is 3 ohm. This voltage source value is 4 volt. We have evaluated it 4 volt and this value is 6 volt. Now checking the direction, charging and discharging directions are different for capacitor. Charging direction is this way, so discharging must be in this direction. So that ends this terminal as positive and negative. Similarly, again checking at this point also, this must be in this direction, positive, negative. Now suddenly this 3 ohm burns out, right? So at this time we have to calculate the current flowing through this 2 ohm, right? So actually this part turns out to be a closed loop and the voltage drop is 4 volt. That means there is a voltage drop across 2 ohm and similarly a voltage drop across 2 ohm and equally splitted, right? So the voltage across these 2 points AB, voltage across AB, I am marking this as AB, voltage across AB equal to equally splitted. So 2 by 2 equal to 1 ampere. And now check the current direction too. This is plus, this is negative, this is plus, this is negative. So 1 ampere if the current direction is in this way, and similarly minus 1 ampere if we take the current direction in this way, right? But in the question there is no mentioning about the current direction. So if it is, as I mentioned, if it is in left to right hand direction it is minus 1 ampere, and similarly from right to left hand direction it is 1 ampere. Most probably it may be from left to right hand, answer may be minus 1 ampere too. So now we can check the third question. In the figure shown, the current I in amperes is, right? So we have to calculate the current flowing through this path, right? So in this question we can actually redraw this question, right? We can redraw this figure. So I am actually rotating this figure to 90 degree in this direction, right? I am rotating the entire figure through 90 degree in this direction. So at this side you can see a 5 ohm and a 1 ampere current source here, right? Next it's connected to a 1 ohm, and again at this point another 1 ohm downward, right? Now 8 volt is there to 1 ohm, but it is in the same potential as this 1 ohm, so I can mark it as a parallel element, right? Plus negative 8 volt 1 ohm. Now another 1 ohm is there, so another 1 ohm. Now it is terminating at this side also, so it is in this way. Now at this end, right, from at this end an 8 volt is there, so I am first of all connecting these terminals, and at this end there is an 8 volt with a negative terminal here. So at this end, that end is also this end, so I am marking in this direction. So an 8 volt is there, negative plus 8 volt, right? And positive terminal ends at 5 ohm 1 ohm terminal, so it is in this way. Now check the figure. It is basically a nodal analysis figure, so always try to redraw this figure, and now I am sure that all of you can attend this question too. So I am writing node equations. First of all, I am taking this node voltage as V and writing equation there. V minus node voltage, here it is marked as 8 volt, right? As 8 volt is parallel, the node voltage is 8, so V minus 8 by 1, right? V minus 8 by 1 plus another node V by 1 plus, again V is the voltage across these 2 points, right? So we have to find the current flowing through this path, that is V minus 8 by 1, because we have to calculate the current flowing through this 1 ohm. The current flowing through this 1 ohm is nothing but it is V minus 8 by 1, because the voltage drop across 1 ohm is V minus 8 and divided by the resistance gives the current. So V minus 8 by 1 plus V by 1 equal to 0. So V 1, 2, 3, 4 V's equal to 16 and V equal to 4 volt. Now we have to calculate the current as shown in the figure. Actually the current direction is given between two 1 ohm, so I am changing. Actually the current direction is here, not here. So now we can solve this. Current flowing through this arm, right? Here we have calculated the voltage as V equal to 4 volt. So current flowing downward is 4 minus 8. 8 volt is the voltage source in the arm, so 4 minus 8 by 1, that is minus 4 ampere downward, right? So a minus 4 ampere downward current is flowing here and current I is entering here. Similarly, so the leaving current, that means the leaving current at this arm is I minus 4, right? I minus 4 is the leaving current. Now the current flowing through this 1 ohm is V by 1. V is 4. 4 by 1 is 4 ampere, right? 4 ampere current is entering again this node, 4 ampere, and we have to check what will be the current here, right? It is marked as 1 ampere, right? The current entering this arm is 1 ampere as current source is delivering current through this path. So this is 1 ampere. Now writing node equation at this point, right? All these currents 1 plus 4 plus I minus 4 is entering the node. So equated to 0. Now I plus 1 equal to 0. That means I equal to minus 1. So minus 1 ampere is the current flowing through this path, right? Actually, when we check this circuit in this path, similarly this way around, similarly this way around, all in same potential, right? All in same potential. Now moving to the last question in this question paper, the Z parameter matrix Z11, Z12, Z21 and Z22 for the two-port network shown is. So a lattice network is given and we have to find the Z matrix. For that I am writing the Z matrix V1 equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. Similarly V2 equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2. Now the independent parameter is I1 and I1 or I2, right? If I1 equal to 0, I obtain Z12 and Z22. Similarly, when I2 equal to 0, I obtain Z11 and Z21. So, checking the options, there is a symmetry in option C and D, that is 9, 6 here and again 9, 6 here. So, it is preferably better to work as I1 equal to 0 because the column matrix minus 2, 2 is different from 2, 2, again it's different from minus 3, 9 and again different from 3, 9. So, it is wise to perform I1 equal to 0 as we obtain Z12 and Z22, and in this option Z12 and Z22 are entirely different ones. Now I am putting I1 equal to 0 and again applying I2 equal to 1 ampere for simplification, and at this point we have to actually calculate V1 and V2, right? So I am drawing the figure. I1 equal to 0, that is 3 ohm. This is the input port, I am marking it as 1. So 3 ohm, right? Again this is 1 dash, this is 1 dash and 1 dash. Now a 6 ohm is here. 2 2 dash I am applying 1 ampere test source. So a 1 ampere is applied. This is actually 2 2 dash, right? Now from 1 to 2 dash there is a connection, right? So I am marking as here, right? 1 2 dash and we can rub it too. So now I am redrawing it again. At 2 2 dash there is a 1 ampere, right? So a 1 ampere between 2 and 2 dash, right? Next a 6 ohm is connected between 2 and 2 dash. So a 6 ohm is connected here, 6 ohm, and a 3 ohm is connected between again 2 and 2 dash, right? 2 and 2 dash. So a 3 ohm is also connected here. Now we have to remember that actually point 2 is 1 dash also, right? Because 2 is connected directly to 1 dash. So point 2, our terminal 2 is 1 dash also. Similarly 2 dash is 1 also, right? Right. So 2 dash is 1 also. Now we can calculate what is V1 and V2, right? V1 is the voltage between these 2 points, right? So first of all we have to calculate the current flowing through this 3 ohm. So current flowing through 3 ohm equal to current 1 into opposite branch resistance 6 by total resistance 9. So 6 by 9 or 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is actually flowing in this direction, right? 2 by 3 is the current flowing through this 3 ohm. So V1 equal to, we are taking V1 as plus here and negative here. So minus 2 by 3. Current must flow in opposite direction. So minus 2 by 3 into that resistance. That is V1 equal to minus 2 volt. Similarly, we can check what is V2. V2 is the voltage across this 1 ohm to 2 dash. For that I have to calculate the total resistance first. That is total resistance is 6 ohm parallel with 3 ohm. So 6 parallel 3 is 6 into 3 is 18 by total resistance 9, that is 2 ohm. 2 ohm is the total resistance. So V2 equal to current is 1 ohm into 2. So V2 again 2 volt. So now we calculated V1 as minus 2 volt and V2 as 2 volt. Now we can check what is Z12 and Z22. Z12 equal to V1 by I2. But V1 we have calculated as minus 2 and I2 equal to 1 ampere. So Z12 equal to minus 2 ohm. Similarly Z22 equal to V2 by I2. But V2 we calculated as 2 volt and I2 is applied 1 ampere. So it is 2 ohm. So answer must be option A. Right? Option A. Minus 2. No other option satisfies this. Similarly, we can apply I2 equal to 0 and evaluate Z11 and Z21. But there is no need of it as there are different options. Right? So it is enough. So this is the answer. So for more gate tutorials, subscribe my channel. Now I am signing out till we meet again with another gate tutorial. Thank you.